U2S Media.
Welcome to another episode of Under Something. We're your host, Trapper D God.
Bill Bixby.
And we as you. Am I the one who just said we here with dudes? Start it over, right?
Yes, that's it.
It is we back.
Welcome to another dope episode of Under Something with your host, Trapper the God.
Bill Bixby.
And usually we're here to bring you the real.
But as we always do, we got to shout out the engineer, Pablo,
Big baby.
a.k.a. Trap
Really want to be disrespectful.
a.k.a. Supreme Being. Brother, cuz.
Shout out to you, Pablo. Cuz, we back.
Yes, sir.
We back. We always back, man. We always with that crap.
Yes, sir.
Shit, man. I'm happy to be here, man. 25th episode.
Yes, sir.
We doing things. We moving things, man. We out here.
Hey, man, 25.
Who thought we wasn't gonna be here? Look, and we still here.
Yes,
Man. We
sir.
shining, man. Big ups to us, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what? Black History Month.
Yeah,
We said
man.
we
We ain't said nothing about Black History Month. You know, we had an episode in February.
Yep.
We should have said it then.
we didn't even bring it in like we should have.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, like, how do you feel about Black History Month?
I feel like I'm cool with it, but I don't celebrate it like other people because I think that every month is our month, bro.
I mean, like how do you feel people should celebrate it?
I feel like however you do it, whether it's like I know some people change their Facebook tag to it. I mean, everybody got different ways to celebrate it and bring it in, whether it's remembering or whether it's honoring or celebrating past people or people your family member, just celebrating the black culture, man, and what we do, man, in this month is more for other people too. I feel like that's more to kind of shine a light towards other people who might not know about our culture, but us as black folks, I feel like we celebrate it every month.
Okay.
But I feel people like, I'm glad, cause doesn't it feel like a lot of more love come out, even though it's been kind of fucked up this year starting, but it's always, when it gets to that month of February, man, it's just a lot of more like kind of love on the black tip of us giving out.
A lot of pride.
So I'm always for that on the inside, man, to be real honest with you.
And I agree with you, man. I think Black History Month is more about recognition.
Yeah.
It's Black American history.
The Black American history, exactly.
I mean, it's more about, the black people that changed America, what they brought to America, and us just recognizing our people and our place and what we brought to America. Pretty much, more or less.
Yep.
Even though we got the shortest month of the year, that's always the main,
Argument, exactly.
about Black history. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like you said, man, we should be, about our black people 24/7.
24/7.
And we'll be a lot further if we work. You know what I mean? If we had each other back, you know what I mean, 12 months out of the year,
Exactly.
I think we'll be a lot further, man.
Speaking on that, we done had a lot of black people dying. We just had another young black king taken out, Pop Smoke. R.I.P. to him.
R.I.P.
He was gunned down in a home invasion. From whoever, found out about his information from the blog that say that he mistakenly put his address out there for people, and people ran up and robbed him because he made a mistake to put his address out.
Yeah.
And whether it's because they didn't want to see him shine, or whether it was just because he placed the opportunity in their hand, it's too often that icon, especially in the rap game and music game, or anybody who's ascending, getting taken out.
Yeah,
The sad part is it's usually by us. It's usually people of our own colors or people that we know that's close to us that take us out. And that's kind of the underfield tone with the whole Pop Smoke thing too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, thing with the Pop Smoke thing, man, is that I did see like on social media where he got some kind of package or something, and he was on live, and and he forgot to blur out certain address. You know what I mean? and he was in Cali. You know, most rappers usually get killed in their city. You know what I mean? That's what kind of make it feel kind of weird. You know what I mean? This man all the way out in Cali. You know what I mean? The police, they still, you know, like they got witnesses, so they're interrogating it because this happened when? Yesterday, right?
Yeah, either the day before yesterday or yesterday.
Yeah,
It just happened.
It just happened yesterday. So
yeah.
of course, like we ain't really got no hard facts to go off of.
This early.
No investigation, none of that. You know what I mean? But you know, it kind of put me in a place, you know, to you know, I got to think. You know what I mean? Is, you know, like being successful worth it, man? You know what I mean? Especially as black people, because we hate each other more than we hate anything else, man. You know what I mean? It kind of make you like scared to even be successful, scared to paper chase, scared to, you know what I mean? You know, level up. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have people that's jealous and they're gonna come take what you got or come take your life. Just because they jealous of you shining, they're jealous of the attention you getting, they're jealous because you got the women. The women be one of the main things, you know what I mean? The women, man. You know what I mean? So like, is it worth it to even be successful, man?
Yeah, man. And to me, I feel like that's been a problem for. I feel like when you get to the level where he at, and you have to be due diligent, and you got to kind of keep your head on the swivel, because you, not saying that he brought that kind of energy to him, saying he was a negative person, but when you floss your stuff, you know how it is. If you out here shining, and there's always gonna be a nigga out there hating, whether they black or white. It's always gonna be somebody out there watching. Yeah. So you got to be even more careful about, especially if you present yourself as a street nigga, a hood nigga, that kind of lifestyle. You're gonna bring that kind of attention around you, man. So you gotta be careful about the energy that you put out there and the things that you leave.
And the music.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Fact, you know,
that's what I'm saying. It's all tied into like the kind of lifestyle that you live. That if you claim, these niggas don't care that you young 20 nigga, they just see you an opportunity, and you speak about it in songs and music, or how, you know, if it's a lick, it's an easy lick. You know, I'm not saying, you know, rest his peace, his soul, because he was a young man and he was doing things, but this world cold, man. We speak about that all the time, man. Ain't nobody turning no new leaf. They still robbing niggas. They still finna kill you, bro. People, and I feel like people, when they get money, bro, and not just Pop Smoke, not speaking, I'm just saying, we get this money give people false security. Yeah. They feel like, oh, because I'm so rich and so popular that we can't be killed, or we can't
give you a God complex.
Yeah, give you that superior complex, and everybody can die. Because, like I said, the one thing about it is, I don't care how many niggas you think you can kill or how many people you can take out. If you're not ready for it, if you're not looking for it to come, and they catch you off guard, bro, you're dead. It don't matter.
You know,
so,
especially when you famous, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't even blend in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everywhere you go, like, you're a target for something. Somebody trying to take advantage of you. Somebody trying to rob you, scheme on you, trying to get what you got. Yeah. And especially when you're famous, like he is, you know, everybody knows what you look like. You know, like, there's no way you can even blend in anymore. You lose all of your, you know, regular people privileges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. So, you know, how that happened to bro. You know what I mean? Out there in Cali. You know what I mean? Even though, you know, he did probably make a mistake by putting out his address. Like, why, when people get successful, you know, you gotta go fuck that up, or gotta go rob them or try to have what they want. You know, you got motherfuckers that sit around all motherfucking day, don't go to work, don't want better for themselves. They just sit around waiting for opportunity just to go take something for somebody that put in, maybe, you don't know how much work they put in. Like, he might have been trying to do this his whole motherfucking life. You know what I mean? He didn't just get successful overnight. He didn't hit the lotto. This man put in a lot of fucking work to, you know, get where he was at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's some puss ass shit, man. Go put in some work, get your own shit, nigga. Straight up.
Niggas is definitely gonna take the easy route.
Yeah, man. I don't respect that shit.
We ain't gonna speak too much on it, but like we said, R.I.P. to Pop Smoke and his people and his family and people that fuck with him close, that really feel this the hardest way, and, you know, the music game for missing out on him, you know, and what he could have brought to the table. Yeah. You know, and I
ain't gonna act like I'm no big fan. I really ain't listen to bro music. I maybe heard 1 or 2 songs, man.
Exactly.
It's just the fact that it matter.
Yeah, I feel you. I was just about to say, I ain't really got into his music. I know only a couple of songs, but whenever it's somebody getting their life taken away too fast over money. That's it's just
That's all
sad.
it is.
It's sad to see our black people.
Jealousy and envy.
Yeah, envy. So sports, man. All-Star Weekend just passed. That's another big thing in February, the Black History Month. They switched up the topic. They switched up how they played.
Yeah.
I feel
They went hard.
like everybody, and this is a little side note, but I've been liking how people still been loving the COVID thing and still been, steady showing love for him passing away so fast. They did that for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
The
me 24 and the 2s.
Yeah. Me and you personally, we didn't really get to watch it and watch all the stuff, but the highlights that we done caught. How do you feel about the new format for the All-Star game?
I mean, shit. I think that's how it always should be. Because like when you were a kid, I put it in perspective like this. Like let's just say like when you middle school or I just say high school, and you get nominated to go play for the high school All-Star team.
Yeah.
You about to get out there and try to ball your ass off and show out because you were All-Star.
Yeah.
And then I don't think the All-Star game was meant for you to just go out there and be friends and motherfuckers just playing, throwing alley-oops and all this shit, playing around. I think, man, people paying money to see you ball out, man. You're an All-Star, so I think they should always be putting their best foot forward with that shit. You know what I mean?
I agree. I definitely agree that when the All-Star game, when you watch it, you want to see the greats go against each other and playing against each other because you ain't gonna be able to see that besides during the All-Star game. Because when they play for the Olympic team, they play other teams. But when you get all the All-Star, all the great names in our thing, and they get
best in the world,
and see, you always want to know, okay, what happened if this person played this person with this person on the team? So I always wanted them to play. I ain't say you got to play super hard, but I wanted it to be a real game. Like I wanted to always feel like it was a competition and not just a show. So I haven't watched any All-Star games or anything in years, man. It's been years.
Just because of that, because they just
no dunk cut
bullshit.
Yeah, no dunk contests. I've been stopped watching, even with the Pro Bowl, like in different sports. I've been stopped watching all
Especially
those.
the Pro Bowl.
So I was happy, and I'm gonna go watch it. But from the highlights I saw, I was happy when I saw it. Like, oh, they really playing ball. They actually out here doing it. And some people say it's because of the new rules. Some people say it's because of the legacy of Kobe. I don't know. I just hope that this catches trend and goes further.
Exactly.
Keep every year.
I definitely think it was because of Kobe too.
Of course.
Because Kobe passed. And they actually changed the MVP. They gave Kobe. Mm-hmm. They named him the trophy after him. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that put a fire up on everybody. Everybody wanted to be the first one to win that Kobe MVP All-Star. You know what I mean? So man, that played a big part with it too.
So we both for the vote on how it changed. I think it's cool that they get a set point, like, and then they set it. Even though this year they did it 24 points to represent Kobe, but in the fourth quarter, whoever lead is supposed to be a certain amount of points added, and whoever gets to that first wins, which is cool. The only thing I didn't like was the excessive free throws, because I feel like I'm with Joel Embiid. I feel like a free throw shouldn't win the game.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you shouldn't get free throws. Like even if you get fouled, I don't think you should take free throws. I think you should just take the ball out. But this person could still foul out. You feel what I'm saying? But to have it win at a free throw, even though it was a good game, but I saw the little clip of the end and AD won it with a free throw. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like for it to be such a good fourth quarter, to end it off that, it kind of sucked. So that's my only beef against it. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But I'm happier that they bring the real sports back and that stuff right there.
Going hard, man. That's what we want to see as fans, man.
Exactly. We want to see competition stuff. We want to be motivated.
That's why we watch the shit.
Have you got a chance to see any of the XFL games? Now
I haven't made it there yet, man.
I haven't caught none. I caught some highlights of it though, and it's entertaining. It's a good substitute for the football that we missing into football.
That'd be a good idea.
Exactly. And I feel like the way they have it set up, it's not exactly like football, like regular football. Yeah. So it gives you that kind of unknown excitement. But I'm kind of been used to XFL because I watch a lot of ladies flag football. And it kind of remind me of that kind of feel, like it's
lingerie.
Lingerie. It's a lot of. I mean, it's just entertaining. It's something a sport that can take over the pastime that you miss between sports.
Exactly.
And XFL is not bad, and I think it's gonna succeed. It's not gonna Not do I think it's gonna be NFL, but I think it's gonna be good.
You know, I think the big three, Ice Cube bringing the big three out.
And that too.
I kind of crunk. I think that kind of crunked that back up.
Because
the XFL was there. I remember they started back in the days.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, they bring it back.
And the big three is a good thing. Like it's not as big, but it's very popular, and it gives you, you know what I'm saying. So I enjoy it.
You know, Joe Johnson went back to the league.
Yeah, and it gave, and this is gonna show people with the XFL that some people might be able to get another opportunity.
Exactly.
And stuff.
Yeah.
So shout out to that. All right, world, man, we got a serious conversation, and it's the talk of the town right now, and I feel like it's important because I've been checking through social media, and just not my, you know, people that I know in the world, we're kind of torn between this topic, and I do feel like it's a topic that needs to be talked about on all platforms because it's what's going on in the world, and we have kind of shadowed this topic about agenda being pushed by a bigger, you know, picture. So D-Wade came out and Gabrielle Union in support of their son changing his name and his identity from a boy to a girl. D-Wade has showed tremendous just pressure, poise, and, you know, under pressure, and just, you know, in support of his child and the lifestyle that he has chosen to take upon himself. So is Gabrielle Union, but the world has their say too because they're in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be the whole topic, but my first question to you is, how do you feel just about D-Wade and Gabrielle Union supporting their daughter, or their son turning to a girl and like embracing it?
How do I feel about it?
Because I guess because he's been doing it for a while. He's been doing the transition of being in the gay pride, so that's not nothing. I mean, the part of him actually said that he wants to be a woman, like identify himself as a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
At his age.
This is my perspective. You know what I mean?
Two dope boys perspective, man.
Yeah, I don't care if you judge me. I really don't care, man. But this is how I feel about it, man. Like, I don't think D-Wade went into any details about like the transformation. You know how far it's gonna go, whatever. But you know, I have seen a couple of social media. Boosie, I'm just saying. I seen Boosie go off about it.
Yeah, I wanted to wait before we get to that part because he was talking about a specific change.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about how you feel about him supporting her being a woman.
I mean, like I feel like whatever your child do, like, there's nothing you can do about it, man. You know, if your child gay, you gotta support him, man. It's your baby, you made him.
Okay, that's
You know what I mean? So you definitely gotta support him.
Would you be able to
That's your
support
job as a parent.
Would you be able to support him to the extent that they're supporting him? Because I feel like that's a.
I feel like he too young right now.
Okay.
I definitely feel like he's too young. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like he should, you know, at least get an like, cause you know they say men's brains don't even fully develop until we like 30, 25 or 30, something like that. So with a 12-year-old, you should, as a parent, I feel you should definitely support them, but you should definitely prepare them for what's going to happen, you know, backlash, the world, all that. You know what I mean? You should definitely give them time to grow and become an adult first. You know what I mean? Before you do any drastic changes. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
So one more question with that same thing is, because, you know, we have to kind of identify with ourselves and our kids.
Yeah.
So, and I seen you was touching on when it's your kids, you kind of got to support them. So you were saying that if it came down to it, you would support your kid in a way. And the reason I said it like this, because I was thinking that me and Pablo was talking about this. Do I think I'm at the level in my life that D-Wade and Gabrielle Union is with their kids? Could I be like that with my kids? And I can honestly say this without even thinking twice. No, I'm not at the level of being able to accept it for my kid. But I'm at the level now that I can accept Gabrielle Union and D-Wade doing it to their kid because I always been a person like that's their kid, that's their life. They like
I feel
you know.
You know what the difference is? Like, I'm pretty sure with I think his name is Zion, Zaza what he changed it to. But I'm pretty sure like they've been dealing with that since he's been born. So you know it took them. He's 12 years old, so it took probably took D-Wade at least 10 of them years to get to the place where he had.
And that's why I said I'm not at that place because they're way farther in. Yeah. And he did make a statement on saying that his son knew that from the age of 3 that he wanted to be, I guess, a woman. Which that right there started an uproar in social media too, because they're like, how could your child ever know? And we don't know, and I can't get into it because I mean we can always state our opinion on whether we agree or disagree whether or not your child can know at 3. Yeah. But I'm not gonna argue whether or not his child and what they got going on. No. Like I told Pablo, I'm just not at the level that I can be where he is. But I'm at a more father level along than other people because I have a lot of LGBT communities in my family. So I have been dealing with them more often. So like I said, I'm not as far as D-Wade with it. If my son was to be like, hey, he wanted to be a girl, can he change his name to a girl and do all that? Nah. You gonna wait until you're 18, bro. Then once you're grown, you can do whatever you want to do. And then I'm gonna support you because you're grown and you got to choose what you want to do. You know, you feel me what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would never shame him up until you're 18, like, oh, you can't be gay. No, you could be gay. But what you said was I feel like it was the most important part is you got to sit down and let your kids know about all the extra shit that comes with being, and that's what. And my biggest fear, like, and you know, I could say this because me and Pablo, my biggest fear is my son being gay. And it's not because, and like I said, I live with LGBT people. I'm like my family and people like that. But that's my biggest fear as me being a dad for my son. You know what I'm saying? For him to be end up in that community. But it's not because I don't want him to be gay. That's not my fear. Like, oh, he's gay. My fear is that LGBT community is the most dangerous community to be in right now. In this society, in this where we were just talking about on the earlier about how they was getting beat, dragged, murdered, and you know what I'm saying? So me as a parent, and my child is 11 years old or 12 years old or thinking about this, I'm fearing for your life because you're already black, son, and they're against you. You go and add this other titles to you, not saying that you can't be yourself, but man, the world is fucked up, bro. You can't tell me as a 11 to 12 year old that you're ready because I can't tell you if you're ready. But I just know, man, there's gonna be some shit coming that my 11 or 12 year old, 13 or whatever kid is shouldn't have to deal with it. Whether, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to have to deal with that because the world is social media, you know what I'm saying? And we as parents, that's my biggest thing. Like, man, you finna be in for it. It's already rough, bro. It's finna be even rough. And if after that you decide you still want to take this path, who am I to stop you? You feel me? Yeah. And like you said, D-Wade had that because, you know, he said the child they've been knowing since 3. So you done had 10, 9, 8, whatever years to get accustomed to this. So I feel like I'm not there yet to be accustomed. But to bring up what you were saying now about the Boosie thing, now that's what we said we don't know all the facts. I don't know all the facts, but they were saying something about him changing his gender and becoming a full girl at 11, and Boosie was speaking about how that you know
the procedure.
Yeah, procedure. Now, if that's true, and you know people have been bashing Boosie, but I'm not mad at Boosie at that. Like I got 100%. Like we can't be at that age, even though we could pretend like we know, we don't know.
Yeah.
We just think we know.
Yeah.
Even when we was that young, I don't care. I'm not saying that they don't know that he's gonna be gay. Like I'm not saying that he doesn't know that. I'm saying that he doesn't know that he might run into somebody later on that might make him feel some way and might want to change back. But if you take that from him at that age, it's no coming back. You feel me? So like I feel Boosie on, man. Hey.
Yeah, you know, I definitely agree with some of Boosie's points. Mm-hmm. You know, especially the age factor. But I want to say this first. You know, like I think, you know, social media definitely give people a platform to, you know, give their opinions on shit that ain't got nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, why does that bother you so much when you gotta go make a whole little rant that the whole world can see about a 12-year-old little boy? You know, I know you saying D-Wade's name, but his son's still involved in that. You know, his son he's 12 years old. He can get on the internet and go look at this shit and all this shit. And, you know, like, I haven't heard any facts that they wanna take his manhood away. But I'm gonna go back to his age, man. Like, he's 12 years old, man. Like, I don't think they should support him doing a procedure. I don't think they should support that. You know, at the end of the day, the man probably, he never probably had sex. You know, who knows if he even, felt what an orgasm feel like. You know what I mean? They should definitely wait until he get older and let him cut it himself. They shouldn't do that as parents. You know what I mean? Like what if the man grew up and regret his decision and now he can't live with himself? You know, like, he's just a child. You know what I mean? Kids still want to be firefighters and all superheroes at that age, man. You know what I mean? So I don't think he's, old enough or wise enough to make that big of a decision with his life. That's how I feel about it.
I definitely agree with you 100% on that. I mean, I just don't know. Like, I support D-Wade with supporting his kids, man.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at the end of the day, they get to do what they want to do. Like, even if I didn't agree with it and I did want to put a rant, because that's just what happens when you're in the public eye. But as long as D-Wade, them, as long as they love their kids and do what they got to do, man, then that's what really matters. Because, like I said, as long as they're ready for the backlash that comes with that kind of stuff, and because it's a dangerous path when that LGBT community, and it shouldn't be that way. Yeah. But we're just talking about the realization that it's dangerous, man. People, and we know how, and it's been proven that cyberbullying and all this stuff is even stronger when you're younger. So he's gonna have to deal, and and the only way to do it is have people support him. But it's a man, and the reason I'm saying this is that I feel like, we spoke about the agenda of how demasculating the man is popular now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's okay, and I'm not saying that, and you always got people that's gonna come to the aid of the other side and be like, oh, what it, but I always feel like whenever the people come to the aid of the other side, they always try to make it seem like we trying to bash that or something. No, it's not a bash. It's like, listen, we just don't agree. Mm-hmm. So just how you can tell me how all the stuff will make this right, I can tell you all the stuff that I don't agree with. But I'm not the kind of person that's gonna attack you for me not agreeing. I'm just gonna let you know that I don't agree, and I'm one of those people that, like, I don't agree with it, like the push that it has for it. But at the end of the day, like with the whole Lil Nas X and Pastor Troy thing, like, I'm not gonna bash Lil Nas X because he wants to be like that. At the end of the day, I'm gonna just make sure that whatever I leave for my seed and the things I want to do, I'm gonna put that in their head. But I ain't gonna, like you said, I ain't gonna get on social media and try to bash him for being gay and wearing pink and doing whatever the fuck he want to do, bro. I'm gonna just let him do it. But it's kind of hard, like I was telling Pablo, because it's not always social media. It's just your other kids that they hang around. Mm-hmm. If they know about that kind of stuff,
kids cruel, man.
But I'm just saying, like, say you have to keep your kid out of that, because a lot of people say, oh, it's all about the parents. It's the parents. No, I can make it so that my kid doesn't know anything about this stuff and kind of raise it this way. But when they go to school and interact with other kids, if you're okay with this, now your kid is telling my kid about things that I don't want them to know about, or I'm not ready for them to be about, and I can't control that. Because kids fuck with kids, you know what I'm saying? You interact with your friends, you like what they like, you want to be cool with them, you want to do what things with. So, and how many times do you know when your kid come back and say, oh, well, what's the name, parents, let them do that shit?
Okay, since we're going up, let me ask you this. Like, what do you think, like, the main thing, because, like, I feel like we're in a culture where there's a lot of is it homosexuality for men and women?
I know what you're trying to say, yeah. And shout out to Jazzy, because she was telling me and Pablo this, that it's not called sexuality no more, it's called fluid. Like, your sexual preference is fluid. So you don't see sex as man and woman. You just see sex as sex. It's just a thing that you do, so it can be done with men or women. So that's what this new, I feel like, generation is. It's just like, we're not, sex, we're fluid. And she was trying to explain, my sisters then was trying to explain it to me. But I feel like that's what you're aiming at is it not homosexual? It's just like, because a lot of people are looking at it as it's just sex.
I was going like, do you think like TV programming is a part of the reason why it's so prevalent right now?
Yeah, they're pushing it. But that's how TV is with everything. And that's what I'm trying to get through. When we were like, it's just like toys with kids. They see toys on TV, it makes them want to buy it because that's the popular toy. Exactly. So if you see that it's okay for kids to wear dresses and stuff like that, even if you never thought about wearing a dress and you might have thought it wasn't right, if you start seeing a lot of kids your age wearing dresses, you as a kid, because you're still learning, you're a sponge, so you're gonna think that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And like that's why I was saying about how even if you might be teaching people that not wearing a dress is all right, but if all my friends' moms let their kids wear dresses and their boys and they doing this and it doesn't seem like it's nothing wrong, in your kid's mind they're gonna think that that's okay. But that comes from social media and the media pushing this agenda that, and I'm not saying that because I guess it's kind of
complicated, man.
It's complicated because people get offended and be like, oh, well, you're trying to say that they can't, it's something wrong with being gay. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being gay or showing that you're gay or showing it, but not every parent is for it. And not every child is for it. Some kids got their own minds of their own. But some kids don't. Some kids follow trends. Some kids follow other people. Just like some grown-ups do it. Like, we got grown-ups that follow fucking trends. Like, come on, man. People try to make it seem like they all woke and like we never follow. I just do what my want. No, bro. You've been trained throughout the course of your life to be a certain way. Yeah. Whether you admit it or not.
And it's kind of like even with the LGBTQ movement, it's like in a way I don't want to say bullying, but it's definitely came to a point where people can't really be themselves. Because if you offend certain people, that is all kind of establishments now that will discredit you, like take opportunities away, all kind of things. You know what I mean? And I definitely feel like people should feel how they want to feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's not,
you should be able to feel how you want to feel about whatever. Even when we talk about Pastor Troy, he was mainly talking about him not wanting his sons. Yeah. You know what I mean? To be influenced.
And his kids was saying that they didn't want to be like that, and that's the way he raised them. And they were speaking out on it. His kids were speaking about it too. And everybody gonna raise their kids anyway. But like I said, if you're a person for fluid sexuality, you're gonna think Pastor Troy is a small-minded person and he's not open, of course, because you're on the opposite end of the spectrum. But you bashing him because him being on the opposite end of the spectrum doesn't change what he's doing, just like he's on the opposite end of the spectrum speaking about you. So that's what I get. That's my whole problem with people who on the other, they be like, oh, they disgust me, this person thinking like this. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
I mean, it's opposite racism.
Exactly. You still being just like this person, but you're just saying because you're fighting for the cause. And I see it on my Facebook where they'll be like, oh, this person disgusts me, like da-da-da. And then the first thing you do is bring up the stuff that person did in the past. It's like, bro, that shit don't matter. All that stuff, like, people were, like, but it goes back to what you said. We care so much about, because that's what our social media is so important to us. Stuff is so important. That's why it's important to kids. Because we as adults are ones that's really talking about it. But it's so important to us that we have to say stuff about somebody else's way they live it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We just have to. We have to have an opinion about it, because that's what people love. People love to know what other people's opinion is about other people.
Okay. I'm just going off on a little tangent right now. Okay. Like, do you feel like, just like you said, like a lot of parents don't want to see, they want their children grew up seeing, man kissing man on network television, women kissing women on network television. Do you think it should be a point where, like, let's just say, like, nudity? You know what I mean? You can't see nudity on public television because children aren't ready to see that. So do you think it should be like certain ratings on stuff like that? Should it be on network TV?
Now, that's a good question. That's a good question because I don't feel like that's taken away from nothing either. But you would have to deal with the argument of gay people saying, well, you shouldn't have women kissing men either. It should just be no sexuality on TV and all that stuff. So it's a slippery slope when you try to take a certain thing. But I agree with you. I feel like before, like they do for most shows, strong sexual content or man-on-man sexual, I feel like they should have those little boxes to let you know before you watch it. So you could, because a lot of times, we don't watch shows, we just hear about it through social media anyways. And you be like, oh man, I ain't gonna watch that show because they doing all this other stuff on it. So, but I feel like, because I feel like you should be able, but I guess you can't do that with parental supervision on your TV. You could probably block certain shows, but who wants to go through it? And there's so many new shows popping out, and so many shows that you'll never even think of. And this was, I was telling Pablo.
What if you're a parent that really don't even watch TV?
But I was saying to Pablo, and this is what kills me about people. You can never control, like people who don't have kids, they always try to tell you how you could raise your kids, but kids are smart at younger age. Like we, as adults, we're not as good at technology as they is, because they're growing up with it in their hand. So they're gonna find things faster than us and stuff like that. So even if you're trying to parental guard, it's almost impossible with technology as it is now, and how smart kids are, and how they friends, you might block some, but they friends know how to get to another site to get past it. So you can't really stop them from watching that stuff. So I feel like I wouldn't be mad if they had some, like, you know what I'm saying? If what you saying, like if they put up a restriction or put up certain ways so kids can't watch, I wouldn't be mad at it, to be honest with you, because we're in an age where you're able to pick and choose what you want to watch anyways. It's just so easy to, so I wouldn't be mad at that. Would it really fuck up anything? It wouldn't. So I agree. I wouldn't be against it, and if they found a way to kind of limit what kids and what they put on TV. But then I'm not for censorship though, so it's kind of fucked up because I'm not for just censoring things and stuff like. So that's why I say that's a tricky one for me, because I'm for showing everything. So I'm for, but I'm talking about for parents that don't like to show everything. I'm for all showing stuff, like, it's a part of the world. They're gonna walk out in the street and see two men kissing. You feel me? They're gonna go down and see two women kissing in real life. So I'm not for it, but I'm not mad if they do it. I wouldn't be like, oh, damn TV. You know what I'm saying? So. Well, how you feel? How you feel about that?
I definitely think, like, if you can't have nudity on network TV, you know what I mean, because children are too young to see it, you definitely shouldn't have, like, because at the end of the day, no one would be here without a man and a woman being together.
Yeah.
So, like, that kind of is out of the equation. Like, a man kissing a woman, like, you can't put that in the same. I don't think you can put that in the same equation as that. You know what I mean? Because none of us will be here without a man and a woman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it should just not be shown. I just think that it shouldn't be so accessible. You know what I mean? And I definitely think it should be a rating on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I feel. You know what I mean? Because I think we're in a generation where, you know what I mean? Like, everything is a wave, everything is a trend, you know what I mean? If you're seeing a bunch of this on television, you're a young kid, of course you're going to think it's more okay, you know what I mean? And once you cross that threshold, you over it, you know what I mean? There ain't no going back.
I agree.
You know what I mean? As a man, once you've been penetrated, like, people going to look at you like that for the rest of your life, man. I'm not saying that's right, but that's just the way of the world. You know what I mean? You should definitely let them grow up, you know what I mean, and be kids, man. Not seeing stuff that's so dramatic, you know what I mean? Because a kid seeing a man kiss a man or a woman kiss a woman, that'll probably be traumatic just seeing it for the first time for a kid, you know what I mean? So I think it should be rated.
And another thing that came to my mind when you were saying what you just said, and with kids just being kids. And I just feel like this. if you're a kid, man, and I know this probably been going on for years and we just never talked about it, but if you're a kid and you're because people don't understand how depressed these kind of lifestyle make kids depressed. Kids become, to themselves because of the weight of the pressure of them having to decide their sexuality, bro. It's such a heavy weight for them.
The last thing they should be worried about right now.
That you got all this stuff going on in the world, and you're so focused on the weight of your sexuality and what you feel and you so. And I'm not saying that people that grew up like this back in the days, but it just seemed like, God damn, bro. Nowadays, it's like you're just so pressured with your sexuality, and you trying to figure out. Cause like I said, if you was a boy, I mean, I don't know how it was with me, but I mean with other people. With me, I was a boy. I never had like those moments where it made me question whether or not I was a boy. Like it never even crossed my mind, And maybe it was just me, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like now, damn. But I don't feel like it was easily ready for us, like how it is now with all the shows with men kissing men and stuff like that. So that might have played a part in my life where I don't question my sexuality. But I feel like, damn, bro, it make even if your kid was questioning their sexuality at 3, bro, something's going on, man. For you to have to question your sexuality at 3, you don't even know about sexuality at 3, and that's my biggest thing. For you to question it, you don't even know. You just know you're a boy and you're a girl. But to be questioning your sexuality to me is just too much at that age, like for a kid to even be having the pressure. And I feel like we put so much pressure on kids when they have to try to decide. Like I tell my son all the time, bro, just be a kid, bro. Just enjoy being you, because there's gonna be a time when you are gonna have to worry about girlfriends and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But as a kid, bro, that shouldn't be something that like a big conversation. It should have been something like, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like you said, because D-Wade's kid is only a 12 or whatever. God damn, bro. You know what else you got to worry about in life? And this shit right here is already weighing you down. Clearly, that's why it's such a big thing. So, but man, it's just, and this is something else that I noticed, and it might need to be talked about. I feel like black women support men being like, more black women and just that culture support men being like women. It's kind of crazy to me. It's very strong. Like it's almost like we rather our boys be girls than them to be boys. But it's like, and I'm not saying that they do it, because the first thing they'll say is like, women say, "Oh, we just want to accept their sexuality." No, bruh. Like he's a boy. Like I'm not saying that you ain't supposed to accept it out the wild, but when it first come to you and you're supposed to be like, oh, what's going on? Why would you even feel that way? But women are they're quick to put, like, you know what I'm saying? They're quick to be okay with a boy acting a certain way, and they be like, oh, he just a little kid, stop. Well, when do we supposed to step in and, do you feel what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When are we supposed to step in and say something? Because I'm not saying it's not right, but damn it, it's not what I want, like, for my son. So I have to speak on this, or I don't want him to be that way, because it's weird, man. And like I said, it's a touchy subject because we're talking about kids, and we're not just talking about grown adults choosing whether or not they want to be lesbians. We're talking about kids. So, am I not supposed to be passionate about my kid? And I'm not saying, and what I'm saying is, I'm just speaking on the people on the opposite end of the spectrum who's against the LGBT. They are allowed to be just as passionate about their kids and not want their kids to be as much as the people who do want their kids to be fluid and be able to make choices, right? And you gotta have both. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
It's definitely crazy, man.
It's crazy.
But at the end of the day, man, whatever somebody decide to do with what they made, it should be their prerogative, man.
That's our biggest thing. We definitely support you supporting whatever you want to do. Because the one thing about it, like you said, like, we're not trying to persuade people to be one way or the other. This is just a topic that we speak about because it's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And we have to realize that it's always gonna be somebody on the opposite end.
Exactly.
You say this all the
No
time.
matter
It's
what.
every personality out there. It's all kind of people. You know what I'm saying? But we get so butthurt when people, and I feel like a lot of people are hurt more is because D Wade he's such a big person in sports. So a lot of people looked up him, a lot of straight men or a lot of people who, you know, so when they see D Wade taking his chance, I seen memes about him like he's really the female in the relationship. I just seen all kind of memes that came out about this man and saying that Gabrielle, you ain't really the big balls in the relationship. But it's just like, when you're dealing with your child, bruh, and the psyche of their child, and just how crazy, how easy kids can be, you know what I'm saying? You are, and the one thing about it is nobody's perfect at child rearing and raising children. Everybody's gonna have to figure that shit out for themselves. And once we understand that, we could sit here and say, oh, that was a horrible parent, but we don't know what the fuck this parent had to go through, like you were saying, when you have to work to get something done. So it's just, man, it's hard, bro. But I can understand both sides of people who against it and the people who kind of with him. But like I said, as a person, I still love and support D Wade because he took a stance and he stood behind it. And that's all you can do as a person. You got to find a ground where you want to stand on, and you got to stand on it. And he decided to stand on it. So now he just got to, you know, teach his son and protect his son and help his son be able to be ready for the onslaught of shit that's gonna come from social media.
Right.
That's all I pray for. Just get him ready for what's gonna come, man. As long as he's y'all ready,
mentally strong.
he's mentally strong for this, because like I said, kids are killing themselves and doing stuff to themselves because people not liking them or people judging them. So, you know, if he did that part, then everything else is, personally, it doesn't matter to me, as far as whether his son is a girl or not, whether she want to be a lady or not. You know what I'm saying? Or she want to accept herself as a woman or not. That bothers me because that's his life and that's their life. So,
That was a good one, man.
I think so, man. And it was hey, we here to give y'all what y'all want, man. Shout out to D Wade, Gabrielle Union, and his family, and the movement that they doing. And the one thing I want to throw on top of this, but I do think it's beautiful, bro, and I do salute them for the way that they support him, man.
Yeah.
If we had black people that supported people even when they don't agree with them and just love them still, bro, we'll be dope as fuck. So salute to the way they're showing people how to love even when you don't agree, and you know, you saw the picture with Iverson hugging him and shit, and he was crying. Iverson was crying because clearly that touched him. Because when you got kids, it touch you, bro. Because it make you think about what would I do with my kids and how, you know, and it makes you look at your own. I like your own demons, your own bad karma and shit. Like he said, he used to be in inside huddles, inside locker rooms that kind of bash that kind of stuff back in his day. So it make you take a look in the mirror and reflect yourself then. So I'm all for it. Another dope episode, bro.
So, man, y'all gotta forgive me, man. I'm feeling kind of sick, y'all. You gotta forgive me, man. We wanted to keep going, man.
But
I feel like I got a Earl, bro.
But we
We
here,
love y'all,
we
man.
give it to you even when we ain't feeling good, man. And you sweating like a motherfucker, bro. That's why I was like, damn. Hey, man, shout out to our fans. Check us out on social media.
Love y'all, man.
Shout out to Pablo. Shout out to my boy, Bruni Boy. Shout out to Danielle, Boo, all my kids, man. People that fuck with us, man.
Yeah. What up, baby?
You know it is. Big love, man. Thanks for the support, man, fam.
What's up?
We out.
U2S Media.